multiple choice questions in Moodle. In their simplest form, they're really easy to make, and I'm going to show you how to do that now. So this is the final product. It's a little text file that you can import straight into Moodle, and it's quite easy to format your questions like this. A question, and then 5 different options or whatever number of options you want, and then an answer underneath that. And what's important here is that you follow the formatting, and if you follow that formatting when you save it, so when you save it, you have to make sure that it is in UTF-8. So the encoding here, there's a few different options. UTF-8 is the encoding you want to use. You'll see here that I'm using Notepad. If you do this in Word, it is possible to save text files in UTF-8, but there's an awful lot of different options to run through, so it's usually easier to just copy and paste it into Notepad and save it that way. What do you do with that once you have it? Well, you can see in the background here I have a Moodle page open, and if we go to our question bank, we can import questions. And these are just the Aiken format, so we've got to select which format we want. Aiken format questions, and then all we have to do is drag and drop our file into the import box, or you can find it in the file browser if you want. Click import, and there they are. They're now going to be in our question bank. So it is as simple as that. And you can see there they are down there, and we can preview them, and you can see that it will also allow us to change the order of the questions, all the usual things you can do with multiple choice questions so that they're not too predictable. Or if you want to make all of your answers answer A, that doesn't matter, because then when it goes into the Moodle quiz question and the questions are randomized in terms of the answer order, they're not all going to be A anymore, so you won't be too predictable. The other thing is that you can edit these after the fact. So if I want to have a picture in my multiple choice questions, I can import the question without the picture, and then I can drag and drop or copy and paste the question into the question text. So I can just go to a sample picture. Here's a Word file with the picture I might use, copy it, so Control and C, Control and V, and then I can save that. And if you want, you can make your questions about pictures. So you can't put the pictures directly into the text file, but you can add them in afterwards. We don't want to make this change though, so we'll cancel that. Okay, just to finish up then, I'm going to show how I reformat questions. So often it's pretty normal to have a bank of questions and then to need to reformat them into this Aiken format. So here's a typical example. It's a set of questions and they're not quite in the right format, and the Aiken format has to be precisely right or the questions won't import correctly. So I'm just going to go through how I do it in case that helps, or if there's any shortcuts. There's nothing particularly new here, but it can be helpful. So the first thing is I want to get rid of that numbering, and I number them all before I get rid of the numbers, because Word can be kind of strange in how it treats numbering. Once we have that, then there's 2 things we need to do that are very important. We need to put the answers in, and we need to format it so that there is the question and the correct formatting of the letters for each question. So the first of those, or the easiest of those, we'll just copy and paste in the question above each one. The number of line breaks I don't think is particularly important. So put it in for each one. Okay, that's our question in for each one. The next thing we need to do, and this is important, in capital letters, we put in the answer. So answer, colon, space, letter. So in that case, it's answer A. And then for the next one, it's going to be answer E. And this is only internal to the question. I've said this a few times, but when you put them into Moodle, you can have it randomize the order of the answers. So it will know which one is correct and give the marks accordingly, but they won't always appear in the same order, which is useful. So answer B, answer E, and answer D. And then we need to just replace these. So the fastest way to do that is with find and replace. So with Control and H, and you can see I've been working on these already. So if we replace A with A dot, that's going to do what we want. So we can replace one, or we can just replace them all at once, and then we can move on to B and B. And obviously the more questions you have, the more time this saves, because you can see I've only got 8 questions here, but this will work as well for 2 as it will for 200. And finally then E. Okay, so now we have our questions in the correct format. All we need to do is save them as a text file. So Control A, Control C to copy it all, and then here's our open file, so our new questions. Won't save changes to that, and we're going to copy and paste it in there, and you can see that all the other formatting is gone, so the bold and all the rest is gone, and they're in the format that we want. So let's just File, Save As, and we're going to call them new questions, so I'll overwrite that. Make sure it's in UTF-8. It is by default, I think, in Notepad most of the time, but just check that it is. Save it, overwrite that, and then just check that they work. We're going to import them into Moodle. So back to our Moodle page, go down to our question bank, import, and select the Aiken format, and then drag our new questions in here and import them. And we can see it's found 8 questions, and if we import them, it's put them into our category. So we could change which category they'd import it into, but that's okay. All right, that's all for now. If you have any questions, post them below. The sample text or a question sample text is in the description of this video below, so you can copy and paste it out of there into a Word file if you want something to follow. All right, that's all for now. Thanks. Bye.